Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan, dearest Swami, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to this second part of a study circle on karma. And I see that uh, there are about 10 or 15 of you who are the first comers, and rather than dive directly into the topic proper, I thought that I will share a very recent, beautiful experience, which is not even 24 hours old, as a special reward to those of you who so lovingly and patiently have come even before I could come. So, right now, I am at Puttaparthi, where I am registered as a voter. Tomorrow is election day. For those who are tuning in from outside India, in India, the elections is a very long process. It takes place over a month almost, and different states and cities have different allotted dates for you to cast your votes. And therefore, since I'm a registered voter in Puttaparthi, I traveled from Bangalore to Puttaparthi, and here I came to cast my vote. Now, interestingly, last night when me, my wife Pooja, my two daughters Bhakti and Janvi, we all slept in this very room. I had Swami's dream. My wife Pooja had Swami's dream. And my youngest daughter Janvi also had Swami's dream. Very, very interesting what these dreams were. Yeah, for those of you who are tuning in now, before I go into the subject proper, I'm just narrating a little incident that happened less than 24 hours ago. So Pooja's dream was beautiful, where she got Pad Namaskar from Swami and Swami gave her some instructions. She was thrilled. Before I traveled to Puttaparthi, I had a scheduled talk to all the alumni of the Satisai University who are currently residing in Europe. It was a virtual talk, and I delivered the talk and then started and came to Puttaparthi. So in my dream, Swami was telling me that he's very happy with my talk, and I felt very, very happy with that feedback. My youngest daughter, Janvi, she's barely 3 years old, 3.5 years old actually. And in her dream, she said, Swami came out of the photograph and Swami touched her feet. I think Swami tickled her feet, but she says, Swami touched my feet. Then I asked her, did Swami do namaskar to you? She said, no, Swami gave me blessings. How did he give blessings? By touching my feet. Okay, fine. And then he went back to the photograph. So when we woke up in the morning, of course, the children get up a little late. We were very happy that all of us had had dreams. Bhakti was the only one apparently without a dream. But in this bedroom, we have one corner that is dedicated to Swami as Swami's room. When the light was switched on there, we had a pleasant surprise waiting for us. Vibhuti had manifested. Oh, it is such a joy. There was a time when Vibhuti would regularly manifest at my home, but then it stopped. See, these Vibhuti manifestations, we don't know why it happens and we don't know why it stops. Definitely, it's a sign of blessing from Swami, but let me make it very clear, it does not mean that if you don't get Vibhuti at home, Swami likes you any lesser. It does not mean that if you get Vibhuti at home, Swami likes you any more. It's like how Swami would give interviews, in Prashant Nilayam, Kodaikanal, or Vrindavan. Swami would give interviews to people. Some people would get hundreds of interviews, some people will not get any interviews. It does not mean that those who don't get interviews are lesser devotees. It does not mean that those who get interviews are special devotees. Everything is a blessing from God. That is a disclaimer I wanted to make very, very clear right in the beginning. Now, having done that, I just thought those of you who are early, I will just show you that. Let me carefully carry my laptop and take you to my shrine here in Puttaparthi. And yeah, so this is my altar. And yeah, there you can see Hanuman. That is Hanuman, and the vibhuti had come. It's not too much of vibhuti, but it's not too little as well. It's very beautiful. And these are the ways in which Swami continues to be part of our life, guide us, guard us, and show that He's there every moment. This is just one example. There are multiple examples in which He does. So That is why I'm in very, very high spirits. I'm very joyous and I'm very happy. And yes, let us now go into the subject proper. Last time, I think it was 3 weeks ago, when we did, uh, yeah, here I have a viewer, Hemalata Ramaswamy, saying her Vedam teacher, Swami at Parthi. Very happy. Yes, I met a couple of people. This is Swami's blessings as I walk the streets of Puttaparthi. Random people. I don't feel anything is random because everything is planned by Swami. But apparently, random people greet, talk, meet. I really feel that I get a glimpse of Swami's love through all of you. So I'm very grateful for that. Yes, thank you. Greetings from Italy. Back to you too. Uh, that's in the comments. So now when we go to the second part of this satsang on karma, in the first part we saw the four basic thumb rules. I'll quickly recap. One is that action is inevitable, and therefore we have to act. We can't avoid or escape doing action. The second thumb rule is that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is even a scientific rule as well by Newton. The third thumb rule is that different actions have different reaction times. Some we get immediate reaction, sometimes we get slow reaction, sometimes we get different ways. Interestingly, on this third thumb rule, we had a question where somebody, one of the viewers, I think it was Kaushik, brother Kaushik, who asked, why should not reactions come immediately whenever we do actions? It will solve a lot of problems. I agree, because the fourth rule is that a reaction need not follow an action immediately. For example, you see somebody doing a bad deed and you see them getting rewarded, and you do something good and you break your leg, and you wonder, what is this? I did good and I broke my leg. We wrongly associate action and reaction, thinking I did good and I broke leg. No, 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 no. You did good. This breaking leg is a reaction for some other karma, for some other karma. And it is good that many times these action reactions are not immediately following, because sometimes we do multiple actions at the same time. And if we were to face multiple reactions, oh, we won't be able to take it. And I think that's why in his infinite knowledge and wisdom, God has made it that different actions have different reaction times. And in my humble opinion, the reactions that we receive are timed in such a manner that we can grow spiritually the best. That is how they are perfectly timed. So that is the thing. So these were the four thumb rules we discussed, and we also briefly visited this concept of Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Agami karma. As a quick recap, Sanchita karma is the sum total of all the karmas we have done across all lifetimes. That is there as a cloud above us. From that cloud, we download a small portion to work out in this life, which we call as Prarabdha karma. And in the process of working out this Prarabdha karma, when we don't do it correctly, when we don't do it perfectly, that karma generates further karma, which goes and adds back to the cloud of Sanchita karma. And that is Agami karma or Agami karma. So, this is how the cycle of birth and rebirth keeps continuing, because we don't clear out our Prarabdha karma in an ideal manner. We generate more Agami karma, which goes and adds back to the Sanchita karma. Therefore, the only way to wear down this cloud of Sanchita karma is to be perfect in working out our karmas. And we will see how we can do that in this study circle satsang. Yes, Sairam Jodi Nair, thank you for that beautiful Mother's Day wish. Yes, let me wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. This is Sunday, the 12th of May in India. And at various parts of the globe, you're either just completing Mother's Day, or you're just entering Mother's Day, or you're celebrating Mother's Day. So, happy Mother's Day to one and all. And let us now continue. Before I go into the different ways in which, we can ensure that when we do our actions, when we do our karmas, we don't regenerate further karma, I would like to answer some of the questions that were asked during the satsang 3 weeks back. So you see, what happens is I keep seeing the messages that come here on the right in the chat, but I am not able to change the train of my thought to answer each of those questions. So whichever I can, I answer. Other ones, I pray to Swami, and that is why I have noted these down. Let me share the questions and the answers. There was someone who asked a very interesting question that, every time when I log into my phone, I'm given a choice between an entertainment channel versus a spiritual channel. And somehow I always feel like going to the entertainment channel. Am I wrong? What is bad in me? What is wrong in me? How do I correct it? How do I go towards spiritual channel? I want to assure this fellow pilgrim that this is very natural. In Trai Brindavan, I remember Trai Brindavan is Swami's residence in Brindavan Whitefield. And on one occasion, Swami used to have Trai sessions there, very intimate sessions with all the students, staff, and teachers. So one student got up and told Swami, Swami, I'm getting bad thoughts. What should I do, Swami? I feel very guilty. He was feeling very guilty, very bad that he's getting bad thoughts. Despite his best efforts, thoughts keep coming. What do you do? So he got up and told Swami. And Swami looks at him and tells him, what is the difference between you and the other students here? Swami. The difference is you have the courage to tell me this. Others are not telling, that's all. Which meant that everybody gets bad thoughts. Don't worry, don't be very harsh on yourself. Good that you have identified it. Identifying a weakness itself is a great achievement. Acknowledging I have a problem. When given a choice between spirituality and entertainment, I choose entertainment. In fact, on my channel, there is a long podcast. I won't go into the details of it because that podcast itself is 1 hour long. It's called When Spirituality Gets Boring. It is, basically the summary of that is, even when we do our spiritual activities and sadhana, we do it at the level of the mind. And the mind constantly seeks entertainment. It wants to have fun. And that is why, if you look at it, possibly we listen to some human speakers speak about Swami more than Swami's own discourse. Because, Swami is not catering to the mind, he's catering to the soul. He doesn't think of peppering his talks with entertainment, fun, and do all these things. No, no, no. Swami will give the pure distilled essence. So when it's our mind that is seeking something, we don't like to listen to Swami's discourse. We don't like to read Swami's Vahinis. Recently, I had done a video on Vahinis as well. Like a great hero, I came and spoke about the Vahinis. I myself have not read more than 3 Vahinis. Okay, but that's because, when I start reading the Vahinis, I start feeling sleepy because I'm reading it at the level of the mind. But how do I bypass that? Just read it. It will seep in. It will seep into the deepest levels, and a day will come when I will start enjoying it. So too, when you feel yourself going towards the entertainment, that is when the intellect has to step in. This happens because of what we call vasanas. And thank you, dear brother or sister, who brought up this topic, because I felt this can be a lovely topic for a future study circle on vasanas and their impact on us. These vasanas are traits, characteristics that we have developed over several lifetimes. And that's why we have a tendency towards it. So, the only way to overcome vasana is through efforts. And therefore, we start putting efforts with the intellectual help, saying, hey, look, I know I want to see entertainment. I know I'm itching to see it. I know it's great fun, but this is good for me. The same way we take bitter medicine and pill, right? I don't like to eat the bitter pill. I will choose an ice cream or a pizza any day over it. But this is good for me. It's good for my health. So whether I like it or not, I will take it. Let's start with that attitude. And over time, I'm sure we'll develop a taste for that. The very fact that we feel that, hey, I need to go for spiritual stuff and not entertaining stuff, that itself is a great start. So, somebody has asked a live question here. Do actions performed in dreams also generate karmas? Well, I have known of several cases where karmas have been cleared out in dreams. I don't know exactly whether all dreams do this, but definitely dreams with Swami are as real life. Swami himself has said that. So that is the short answer to it. Some questions I'll give long answers, some questions short answers. That is in no way estimate of the importance of those questions. It is just the thoughts that are arising in me that I'm sharing. So if I give a short answer, it doesn't mean that the question is any less important or easy one. It's not, nothing like that. I'm just sharing what my heart feels, because in this format, unfortunately, none of you are able to speak. You can only type in. Only I am allowed to speak, and that's what it is. Then let me go to another question. Yeah, here Sister Sai Priya is saying the Vahini Satsang was beautiful. She got inspired to restart reading it. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to Swami for the inspiration. I too have been inspired to read it. In fact, getting inspired to read Vahini is very easy. I have been inspired 100 times. The challenge comes in sustaining that inspiration and keeping it on for a week or so. But everything at its proper time. Somebody asked a question, by doing good, will I become like Ambani or Bill Gates? Basically, different big rich people. So when we want to become like somebody else, in what way? When we think of somebody else that we want to be like them, if you notice, we are looking at them only in one aspect. If I say Ambani or Bill Gates, possibly their wealth I'm looking at. What about their relationships? What about their health? What about the other things in life? It's a whole package. That is why never covet others blessings or anything, because we don't know the whole story. you know there are many blessings that we have that we don't count, because we are thinking of single aspect. We want to be like him, like her, because we are seeing one aspect. We see as a whole. It is possible that we will choose our own life over others. Best not to ask for anything like this, because we don't know what is the karmic package that comes along. So that is the answer I would say for that. One very poignant and important question that different people asked in different ways was, why do we get karma when not a blade of grass can move without God's will? When God is the one who is doing everything, why do we face karmic reactions? Very beautiful question, very important question. And I don't know if I will be able to comprehensively answer it, but I thought this is a good beginning point to make when we start our satsang for the next part, as to how to overcome these karmas. You see, the analogy that comes best in my mind is when we watch a movie. Okay. When we are watching a movie, we enjoy everything, right? We enjoy jokes, we enjoy the love and romance that comes there. We even enjoy the action. Somebody is gunning down somebody else, and we are getting entertained. Are we sadists? Are we so cruel to enjoy somebody else getting killed, to enjoy bombing? My God, we watch horror movies sometimes. There are ghosts, there are terrible things, there's bloodshed. We watch tragedies. Why? How can we be so cruel? If I ask this question, you will say, stop being so over dramatic, Arvind. That is just a movie. It's not true. It's not true. Because we know that it's just something, it's an illusion playing out on the screen, we are able to enjoy tragedy, comedy, horror, romance, heartbreak, everything, killing also. It is entertainment because it's not real. Now, that is the answer I would like to give for this question as to, when God is doing everything, why do we suffer? Why should we have karmas? If we view it from that Advaitic perspective, everything is divine. I am divine, you're divine. That's what Swami would say. When somebody asks Swami, are you divine? Are you God? Swami's answer is, yes, I am God. But if you inquire means inquiry, ask within. If you inquire, you will realize you too are God. We conveniently leave the second part and just keep saying, Swami said he is God, Swami said he is God. People tell it negatively also. Look at this man, he's so audacious to claim that he is God. Hooray, we have forgotten the second part of the statement where he says, you are divine too. If you inquire, you will find out that. So that is the ultimate reality. Now, if we realize that, then everything is entertainment because it's just a movie playing out. We don't ask, right? Oh, how could he lose his limb? No, no, he didn't lose his limb. How can she have a heartbreak? Oh, no, she didn't have a heartbreak. Then it's just a entertainment. It's just an illusion. Nainam chindyanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. You can neither be burnt by the fire nor can you be injured by the arrows. You cannot be wet by water. You cannot be blown away by the wind. You are the immortal Atma. This is what Lord Krishna told Arjuna. This is what Swami tells us. Nothing affects you. So, if we are at that level where everything is a script of the Lord, then it should not matter only because this is just entertainment. But we are at that point only intellectually at some time only. Even intellectually, fully, we are not in that level. Once in a while, we suddenly remember and then say, hey, when I suffer some loss, I tell, hey, why should I get this karmic thing? God, nothing happens without God, so God is responsible. This is a shift between the dual state of life that I am in to the Advaitic state, and only for convenience we do it. So, when we are able to reach that level of Brahma Jigyasa, Swami uses a term for it in one of his discourses. It was 18th of July 90. I'm not remembering the exact year, but in that discourse, Swami says that when you reach the level of Brahma Jigyasa, when you reach the level of being one with the divine, nothing affects. Ramana Maharshi suffered terrible disease. I think it was cancer that he had. It didn't affect him at all. Swami had a broken hip. Didn't affect him at all. In fact, when Professor Anil Kumar said, Swami, you must be in so much pain. How much suffering you are having, Swami? Swami said, hey, listen. Pain is there, but suffering is not there. Pain is, yeah, it just comes. It is there. It's part of the script. I don't have suffering at all because I know the reality. It is like on the screen, firing is going on, but there is no death, there is no tragedy there. No. It's all an illusion. People claim, I love you, you are my world, you are my treasure. That's why when we would proclaim like this to Swami, Swami would hold his hair like this and say, these many people have told this. You don't know the meaning of love. The meaning of love is union. This whole cycle of life is, as Swami says, I separated myself from myself to love myself. Possibly that state of absolute unity is very boring, I think. So God separates himself from himself so that he can love himself. And we love God with such intensity so that we can merge back. This is the cycle. God demerges to become creation so that he can love, and we love so that we can merge back. And this keeps going. This is the divine play. Life is a game played. This is the play. And when we realize that, we become 1 minute, we'll enjoy the play just like we enjoy the movies. But when we don't do this, these questions arise. So therefore, when we reach the level of Brahma Jigyasa, we will not be affected by karma at all. When I say we won't be affected, it's not that things won't happen to me. Things happen, but it won't affect me. Just like somebody dying in the movie, I will not shed tears. It's only when I get so involved and forget that it's an illusion. Yeah, we have some of us in the theater shedding tears. So beautiful. It's so wonderful, or it's so terrible. We get tears because we are so involved that we forget it's a movie. We think it's really happening and we associate it with some things in our life and feel it is so real. So only when you think it is real, we get affected with emotions. Otherwise, it's all entertainment. So therefore, it is true. If we reach the level of God, that is Brahma Jigyasa, we will not be affected by karma at all. But Swami in that same discourse says, before you reach Brahma Jigyasa, you have to. Jigyasa means the intense yearning to know. Intense yearning to know Brahman. When you have that intense yearning to know Brahman, you will know Brahman. That is why it is said, Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. When you have that yearning to know, you will know. But before you get Brahma Jigyasa, Swami says, we should get Dharma Jigyasa. The yearning to know what is Dharma. And before Dharma Jigyasa, Swami says, you should have Karma Jigyasa. And that is what this satsang is about. So I think that will be a nice segue into our topic proper, what we wish to cover today, as to how do we do our karmas in a manner that we don't generate further karma? You know, let's start with day to day examples. People, what they do. Or better still, let me start with one short story that I heard from a dear brother. This was in the early 1950s or 60s, when there was this young man who had given up everything and come to Prashantinilayam, to Swami's lotus feet, and he wanted to seek Brahman. He wanted to seek the ultimate. That was his only goal in life. And so he came here. And Swami was guiding him for a while. And he wanted Swami to become his guru, give him Diksha. Now we know that Swami doesn't do that way. Swami is a Jagat Guru. He doesn't whisper mantras in few years and allow them to. No, it is not that, because that is what a normal guru will do. A guru is considered like a boat who takes you across this ocean of existence, across Bhavasagara. Swami is a ship. Ship. Swami had once said in a discourse, they say, Baba black sheep. That's the nursery rhyme. And Swami said, this Baba is not a black sheep. He is a white ship. A white ship. A ship of purity. He will take across thousands and thousands of passengers across this ocean of samsara, across the Bhavasagara. So that kind of a guru. So Swami was not going to whisper some mantra in his ear and give him Diksha and all that, but he was keen on getting it. One day, suddenly, Swami, who had allowed him to stay in the Patashala block comes right beside the Ganesha and Subramanya temple currently in Prashantinilayam. That is where he was staying. Swami sent word for him, gave him some money to buy clothes, and then said, go home now. I said, Swami, but I came to for the highest. Swami said, your mother, who took care of you in every way, she's sick, she's ailing there now. You go and take care of her. Unless you take care of her, unless you do your duty as son, you will never have redemption. Swami sent him back. I remember when I completed my education after MBA, I completed my MSc in chemistry, then did MBA. And then I said, Swami, I want to stay with you and work. What do you want to do? Anything, Swami. Swami said, find out what work can you do. So I remember I had told Swami that I would either like to teach in the university or work at Radio Sai, because I felt my strengths aligned. And Swami blessed me to work at Radio Sai at that point in time. But before doing that, Swami wanted to know, what do my parents tell? And I was like, Swami, how does it matter what they tell? My heart is pledged to you. I want to be with you, Swami, and you know it. And why? No. Find out from your parents. I had to convince my parents, and not that it needed a lot of convincing, but I had to get their blessings. They said wholeheartedly that, Arvind, you go. And then Swami accepted me. I say this because there were three of us. Now I just get a thought that maybe I should do a video on how I got my job at Radio Sai. That will be a long satsang in itself. But there were three of us wanting to join. And one boy's parents possibly were not that willing. They wanted their son to be with them. He didn't join. Swami didn't allow him to join. Only two of us joined. So you see, duty is very, very important. And therefore, even in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Kartavyam yogam uchyate. That is the first level we have to reach. When we do our actions, we have to do it like our duty. We have to perform our duty meticulously. Whatever our duty as a child, our duty as a parent, duty as a friend, all of this. If we don't do it properly, then we are generating further agami karma. How we don't do it properly? We have seen this many times. We go to a booking office to book something. The person there is not interested to help us. He is gone for a smoke, or she's chatting on the phone with somebody, something or the other, and we are irritated. They're just there doing it. We feel they're not doing their duty properly. And we face this in multiple things. We ourselves don't do it many times. We check in exactly at 9 a.m. and check out at 6 p.m. Silent quitting, they call it. We just don't give our whole to the job there. Yeah. Now when we even do our duty and tick all the boxes, we are not performing good karma because we are not there in it in our heart. With what is the problem with that kartavyam yoga muchyate? Wow, I I just saw somebody sent a beautiful smile and said, "I have a pretty look." I I think it's about Swami they're speaking. Anyway, thank you so much, and yeah, thank you for that loving contribution as well. But when we do kartavyam yoga muchyate, the problem is we by nature look at what is there in it for me. What is there in it for me? Swami would call this as swartham and swaprayojanam, selfishness and self-interest. What is it in it for me? If there's nothing in it for me, I won't do it properly. That's why all this silent quitting, resignation, we go to work and technically our attendance is full, but we don't do it properly. And we say, the boss terrible is, why should I, they overwork? Whatever it is, basically it's because of swartham and swaprayojanam. What is there in it for me? If there's nothing in it for me, I would rather find the easiest way to do it and get out of it. So that is why yoga, we move to the next level. As I said, kartavyam yoga muchyate means your duty is divine, but this is the kind of duty where we do what Swami would say as duty without love. We just do it because I have to do it. I need the money, so I'm doing it. That's all. I need to pay my bills. I don't care a damn for it. What would Swami say? Duty without love is deplorable. Deplorable means Swami would say duty with love is desirable. So to go to desirable, we have to move from the first stage, which is kartavyam yoga muchyate, to the next level, which is yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam means this karma yoga is perfection in action. When we do it diligently, perfectly, with all our love. Without love, we can't do something perfectly. Perfection is not a little thing, but it lies in these little things, many little things. And to do that, we need to have love. I remember a beautiful episode, with this. But before that, let me quickly go through the comments here. If there's any question, is there Satyasai Engineering College in Karnataka? Okay, I will just stick to the topic. Then, yes, somebody has read The Inconvenient Truth. That's a blog. Yeah, I used to do a lot of blogging. In fact, I have written about 400, 500 blogs. It is there. You can just search for Arvind Balasubramanya blogger. Just that now in these days, a lot of traction is happening on the videos, and therefore I'm focusing on video creation. So that is it. Somebody else says that they want to see a video on how I got a chance to work at radio. Said definitely, as I said, that has come as a sudden inspiration because of this. I will do that. And yes, Ragini Ramkumar is saying, I love your talks. I have not missed a single one. Thank you. Thank you so much for your love and support. All these, Swami had once told one of the senior brothers, his name is Dr. Deepak Anand. He had delivered a talk. And at the end of the talk, Swami asked him, was your talk good? He said, Swami, you should tell Swami. Because if you tell it's good, it's good. If you are happy, I'm happy. Swami said, how do you know if Swami is happy? He said, Swami, that's why I'm asking you, are you happy, Swami? I said, not in this situation. Suppose Swami is physically not there. How will you know that? And when he didn't have any answer, Swami himself gave the answer. Swami said, even if one person who is listening to your talk comes and tells you that they felt Swami there, know that I was there. And that's why, dear viewers, when you tell me that you felt Swami, or I feel very overwhelmed, because I feel grateful to Swami that he has been there. So yes, so let me now, without getting too emotional, let me just go to this topic, which is Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. You do everything to perfection with great love. If I do this, am I free of karma? No, I'll tell you why. In fact, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam results in more karma than Kartavyam Yoga Muchyate. Because in the places where, I don't see any benefit, I just take it easy, I don't do anything, and it's fine. But where, despite opposition, despite terrible bosses, despite people being very bad to me, I continue to hold on and do, I am expecting now that I will get good results because I have been sincere. But then, when good happens to bad people and bad happens to good people, as we discussed in the previous satsang, right? I feel demolished. I feel completely demoralized. I am doing all this. I am slogging all this. That guy is just chilling and easy, and he gets a promotion. I didn't get it. I'm just taking all workplace related examples, but everything in life, anywhere, you are standing patiently in a line. Somebody comes last minute, one counter is open, new guy joins, and he goes first. And what? It happened to me. I went for renewing my driving license, and we all were lined up somewhere. Suddenly, the person said, "Here the line is," and I was third in the line. I suddenly became 40th, and I was like, "What is this? What is the use of being disciplined? Let me be indisciplined." The problem with being sincere in our duty, professional, is that when we see others who aren't as sincere getting more success, or we failing, we get demoralized, we get dejected, because we judge based on the results. Yeah, Swami said, do prayer. So in the beginning, we'll do prayer and we'll suddenly see things improving in life. Very nice. Let us do it. Then next time when we pray, things don't happen as we wanted. And we say, what is the use of prayer? We are so selfish there also, Expectation comes. And that is why even in Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, unless we are able to overcome this result orientation, our karma will keep getting generated. One nice way to embark on this journey of getting away from result orientation and getting into effort orientation. I will focus on the efforts I put and let me enjoy the efforts. That's all. I'll give you an example. I have witnessed this multiple times and in multiple variants. I'm just sharing one general, the spirit of it. It's not exactly how it happened because it has happened multiple times. Swami would come walking and he would come out of the interview room and talk to all the students. And he would ask, how many marks, what exam, how many marks you got? On one occasion when he was asking like this, there was a student who got up and said that he had got 92% marks. Swami said, you should work harder. Not good, not good. You should work harder. Perfect. You should get full. Then I was thinking that, oh, this is the high standards that Swami has. 92 out of 100 also not enough. You need full. Then Swami asked another boy, you? How many marks you got? Now, all of us thought, Swami, if you were not happy with that first student, you are bound to be disappointed with the second student because this guy is a known weak student. In fact, he himself felt it, I think, because he didn't express clearly to Swami. He said, Swami, how much? Swami, he doesn't want Swami to listen to his marks. But Swami insisted, and finally he said, Swami, 65 or something like that. Swami said, very good, very nice. Swami, this is not rank, this is marks. 92 is better than 65. You told 92 not good enough, you have to work hard, but you are telling the 65 guy very good. How? Well, I didn't get an answer that day, but in retrospect, when we think of it, this boy is a weak student. He struggles to get even 50. But he must have put in a lot of efforts, and with that effort scored 65. And the other boy, possibly he's capable of getting 95 or 100. He just took it easy and I'm the topper, I'm so brilliant, I can get it. And he got 92. So while the world is very happy with the 92, saying, wow, you got 92, and hey, you're only 65, Swami is telling the 92, not good enough, you have to work harder. And to the 65, Swami is telling, very good. Because the world sees results. We see results. God sees efforts. Dear brothers and sisters, it's only because God sees efforts that you and me possibly got a chance to come to Swami, sing before Swami, or perform before Swami, or speak before Swami, because God deserves the best. And many of us are nowhere near the best in the respective fields, whether it's the engineers who built things for Swami, whoever did whatever to Swami in a professional capacity, they're not the best. That's why we say God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Whomever he calls, he gives them the ability to do, because he's seeing the effort. And that is why we are all equal for God. Not because you can sing you speak as well as me, or I can sing as good as you, but you can put 100%, I can also put 100%. And irrespective of how the result sounds for the world, for God, 100% is 100%. And that is why we should change our focus from result orientation to effort orientation. Let us start focusing on doing everything perfectly and enjoying the effort, irrespective of the result. Because I'm not doing it for the boss, I'm not doing it for my peers, I'm not doing it for my friends, I'm doing it for him. And if he is happy, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. When we would give a talk, in Swami's presence, yes, when people applaud and clap, we feel happy. But we are always looking for whether Swami claps or not. And if Swami is happy, it doesn't matter whether the people applauded or not. And if Swami is happy, again, it doesn't matter even if you got the most thunderous applause. And that is the attitude we should carry for every action in life. Let us do every action to make Swami happy. Is Swami happy? That is yoga karma phalatyaga, giving up the fruit of action. I don't care about the result. I care in putting my 100%. How do I know I have put 100%? I know. Everybody I can fool, I can't fool myself. I know whether I have given my best or not. And when I know I have given my best, I have satisfaction with that. My focus should be that. That is where my effort should go in. And when we start enjoying the process, the results don't matter at all. I'm reminded of another beautiful story, lovely experience that has been recorded by Professor Kasturi. But again, before I go into that, let me again quickly scroll through the comments. Just searching videos, how to get close to Swami and leave. Would you be able to give a talk on how to get close to Swami? Brother or sister Pravi, that is already there on the channel. You can see it. A satsang on reaction, reflection, resound. Very good topic. Let me note it down. Reaction, reflection, resound. That's also similar to karma. Yes, that's good. When you focus on your dharmic duty, then all falls into place with divine timing. Perfectly said, Mystic Rebel. How do you think of Swami while doing any work, remaining idle or even in dreams? How does a lover think of his or her beloved? When something becomes important, you automatically think. It's not like you're not able to do your job. When you're doing your job, you do. When I'm driving my bike, I drive. But the moment it's over, I feel very grateful if I'm able to immediately think of Swami. In the beginning, you have to put in the efforts. Once a student had asked Swami, Swami was speaking about Mirabai, and Swami said, Mirabai kept thinking of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna so much that she didn't suffer anything at all. She even drank poison rather than giving up Krishna's name. So she was in bliss with Krishna Nama. Why, Swami, when we do your Nama Smarana, we don't get like that, We still get bogged down with all the worldly things. The beautiful answer is that when we are suffering from some disease, say like malaria, Swami would say, when you have malaria, even a sweet thing you eat tastes bitter. Is that a problem in the sweet or the tongue? It's a problem in the tongue. So like malaria, roga means disease. We are suffering from bhava roga, the disease of worldliness, because of which we are not able to enjoy the sweet. That's why in the beginning, as I said, somebody asked a question, when I see a spiritual content versus the entertaining content, I feel like going to the entertaining content, because we are suffering from bhava roga. You and me, all of us included. I also many times click on the entertainment rather than the spiritual thing, because entertainment is entertainment, fun. The mind gets entertained. So first we have to take the medicine to overcome this bhava roga. And then once we are healed and cured of this disease of worldliness, we will enjoy the divine name. Now here's a beautiful catch, beautiful magic. In the worldly sense, we have a medicine, quinine to cure malaria, and then we eat the sweet. In the divine field, the Lord's name is only the medicine. The Lord's name is only the sweet. So in the beginning, thinking of Swami every time, thinking of Namasmarana, doing Namasmarana every time will feel like taking medicine. Oh, I have to remember, I have to keep reminder and do. But as we keep doing it, it will transform from medicine to sweet, because we are getting cured of our bhavaroga, our worldly disease. And a time will come, I can tell this from personal experience, where you'll enjoy doing it. Sai Shwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. I just keep doing it. It feels very nice. I don't know, it just feels nice. Like people ask, how do you chew gum? In some countries, I know chewing gum is banned, but in those countries where it is there, you chew gum. After some time, the sweetness goes off. It's very tasteless, and yet you keep chewing. It's not. It just becomes part of you, and you feel very nice just chewing an apparently tasteless thing also. So an apparently unproductive thing like just jailing Om Sai Shwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi becomes very beautiful and enjoyable after some time. I have noticed this, and therefore just start it. Just embark on it. And now, with that, let me just go back to this incident, because I think, as per this satsang time, we have just another 10 or 15 minutes. I want to complete this portion. And as I said, keep putting in your comments and questions. In future satsangs, we'll take it up. I hope to do this at least once a month or once in 3 weeks, to have a live satsang like this, because I also feel wonderful sharing live. There is an energy in live that doesn't come in the other videos, which where I speak just to a camera and upload it. So that's why I'm grateful to all of you who join in and share in your vibes, share in your words. Though you're not able to speak, I get it and I feel it. So this incident happened when Prashanti Nilayam was just constructed, and coconut trees were being planted inside the ashram, and they had to be watered. So what would happen is, the men who have physical strength more would get into the well and form a convoy. It was a step well, and along the steps the men will be there, and the women will form a line from the well till the different plants. So the men will fill water in these small buckets or drums and vessels and pass it up. The women will pour it to the plants, and the elderly people, the infirm, they also got a chance to participate, because the empty vessels they would pass back to the men, and this cycle would go on, and all the trees would get watered. And Swami would hold a competition. Let us see who did this better today, the men or the women. Like when the filled vessel comes, if there is no empty vessel there to replace, the men win it. If an empty vessel comes and there's no filled vessel to replace it, the women win it. And this competition goes on. And Swami would come, materialize things, give as gifts. Or very beautiful it used to be. One day, Swami announced a very special thing. Swami said, today everybody did well, and therefore, I am going to grant a group photograph to all of you. Back in those days, I'm speaking of the 50s, photograph was something rare. Only the royalty would afford it. And here, Swami said, all of you will get a group photograph with me. Oh, there was such excitement that, and all of them sat, all of them arranged themselves, and Swami also came. A lot of time in planning, everyone should be seen. And Swami said, keep the vessels also, so that when people see the photograph, they'll understand that this photograph was taken for perfection in doing this. So you see, dear brothers and sisters, when we work for Swami, it's not about doing big things. It's not about doing special things. It is about doing everything in a special manner. That is what is yoga karma falatyaga, yoga karma sukaushalam. Doing everything specially. And how do we make it special? By doing it for Swami, by doing it for God. So they all arranged, and Professor Kasturi was given the job of taking the photograph. And he took the photograph. Has any one of you seen this photograph? Swami with all the men and women and all the vessels in front of a well? Well, you have not seen it, because that photograph was not there, because there was no film roll in the camera. Professor Kasturi writes that he had forgotten to put the film roll. But then he says what amazed him was, none of the men and women had any disappointment, because they enjoyed that whole 1 hour it took to arrange for the photograph. Swami came, aligned them, you stand here, you stand there. They enjoyed that process so much that, of course, yeah, it would have been nice if the photo had come, but if it doesn't come also, no problem. We have memories for a lifetime captured in the camera of our heart. That is enjoying the process. When we enjoy the process with Swami, We are no longer concerned about the results. We are doing all the things for the joy of the process, and we are doing it all perfectly. Correct? And now, when we do actions like this, now are we freed from the karmic chains? You know, last satsang we discussed how when we do tamasic actions, we get iron chains binding us, the iron chains of karma. Rajasic actions, we get the silver chains of karma. Sattvic actions, noble actions like this, doing everything for Swami, all good we do. We still have to come back to enjoy the good, right? We have to enjoy the good, which means, yes, I will get only good, but I don't get freedom from the cycle of birth and death because I'm still having these results that I have to enjoy. How do I stop myself from enjoying these results? It's good only, but I don't want to come on earth again and again to enjoy. I just want to be freed. I want merger with God. I don't want to exist. I want merger with God. How do I do action in that manner? There it is. That statement itself has the answer. I don't want to exist. When that I stops existing, when we remove the feeling of doership, please forgive me, this is just the theory that I'm stating. I'm very far from it. I'm striving. We are all spiritual aspirants. That's why we are in a study circle. That's why it's not like I'm a teacher teaching and you're listening. No, we are all participants. We are all fellow pilgrims on the path. But theoretically, when the I ceases to exist, then there is nowhere the karma can come. That is why I realized people have no karma, no karmic baggage. The avatars have no karma because it is done in that manner. And again, let me, because there's just 8 or 9 minutes for this satsang to conclude, let me give the theoretical answer which Swami says. How do we reach this level? How do we go to this level where I don't exist? There are two ways to do it. Swami says when the chains are binding you so tightly, how do you get out of the chains? Either you become so big that you just shatter the chains that bind you, the chains of karma, or you become so small that the chains just slip away. They can't hold you anymore. The first method is called Soham. Soham. I am that. I am divine. Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. We identify with God. There is no identification with my body and mind anymore. I identify with God. That is becoming big to shatter the chains. The other path is Dasoham. Soham and Dasoham. Dasoham means I am a servant of the servant of the servant. I humble myself into so small. Swami, I am nothing, Swami. Everything is you only. I am breathing because you are breathing. Otherwise, I can't even breathe. I am walking because you choose that I walk. Otherwise, I can't even walk. When we live with that attitude, we become such perfect instruments, hollow flutes through which the breath of God flows. Just like in Krishna's flute, Krishna's breath would flow because it is hollow. Otherwise, the breath can't flow. Our life breath becomes God's life breath. And when we humble ourselves to that level, even then, karma doesn't strike. And therefore, we need to put in efforts and do sadhana to progress to that level. How do we know we are progressing? That is another beautiful topic for a study circle. How do I know that I'm spiritually progressing? How do I know that I have reached that level? I'll conclude with that statement because ultimately it is said, Samatvam yoga muchyate. When we are equanimous, sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. When I am neither affected by profit nor loss, by pleasure nor pain, nor gain nor loss, nothing affects. Victory, defeat, all are one. Well, how do we reach that level of equanimity also can be subject for another study circle. It's all wonderful. It's all beautiful. These study circles are just like, embers. We come to clean up the ash and light up the ember. It is not a substitute for our sadhana, because we achieving God is totally dependent on our own effort. These are all ways through which we can derive inspiration to go inward. Before I conclude, yeah, let me again go through some of the messages that have come. Somebody has asked, Arvind, can you please share the podcast on when spirituality becomes boring? You're on YouTube, Brother Sunil Nair. Just search for when spirituality becomes boring, Arvind Balsubramanya. You will get that. Um, Mystic Rebel says that's why Baba has a good sense of humor, using entertainment to get you focused on your spiritual duty. Perfectly said. Krishnamurti says, what is the path we should follow? Is it bhakti, jnana, or karma? Which path is most preferred? Beautiful. Thank you so much. I can't answer it immediately. I'll keep this also another satsang, another study circle, because Swami has given a beautiful amalgamation. Well, the short answer is these these three paths are not independent of each other. Swami actually gives the analogy of a clock. He says the second's hand. I will go into this depth, into the detail in the next study circle, as I said. But he says the second's hand is karma, the minute's hand is bhakti, the hour hand is jnana. Now tell me which hand is important for the clock? All three, right? Without them, it won't function. And yet each hand has a different function. So we will go into that later. But the short answer is when we need all the three. And the other way of saying it is when we do any one perfectly, we'll automatically start doing the others as well. For instance, when we look at Adi Shankaracharya, he is the greatest Advaitin. And if I ask any of you, Adi Shankaracharya followed which path? All will say Jnana Marga. But do you know the greatest bhakti compositions, including Muda Karata Modakam Sada Vimukti Sadakam Kaladharavatam Sakam Vilasi Loka Rakshakam? This Ganapati shloka. There are so many ashtakams, shatakams that he has composed. And he has done a lot of work as well. He is a great bhakti yogi and a karma yogi as well. So that is the thing. Swami once said consequences of past karmas can definitely be changed. Can you explain this? Yeah. Thank you, Brother Gaurav Gupta. Maybe this should be the next study circle on past karmas, how God's grace can wipe it out. We can discuss that along with the other question which I have not been able to answer. Thank you for that. Yes, definitely nothing is impossible for God, which means even karma doesn't need to bind, whether it's Sanchita karma or Prarabdha karma, everything. In fact, in the Lingashtakam, it even comes Sanchita Papa Vinashaka Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Yes, Sanchita karma can be destroyed, Prarabdha karma also can be destroyed. Then we have Sharanjit Kaur, who is asking, why is it that sometime our life is going through so many problems and it seems that Swami, why one has prayed for mukti and start feeling that we have done bad karma? And I couldn't understand this question. Maybe because I'm reading in a hurry. I will read it through. And yeah, quick summary, please. Okay, I think that is the best way to conclude. A quick summary of what we discussed today. In the previous satsang, we had seen the 4 thumb rules which govern karma, and we had learned a bit about Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Agami karma. So in this session, we went into how do we do karma and gradually perfect ourselves. So the first level is we have to do our duty, no running away from duty. It all started like that only for Arjuna also. He wanted to run away from the war. Krishna said, no, come and do your duty. We have to do duty. But how do we do our duty? It starts with, as I said, it starts with kartavyam yoga muchyate, meaning yoga or the ultimate union with God is our duty. But doing duty, yoga karmasu kaushalam, perfection, professionalism, doing it perfectly. That is the next level, with all love, duty with love. And then when I do that, there is a problem that I suffer disappointments because I have expectation. So the next level of performing actions is to do the same action with all the love and professionalism without an eye on the result. No problem. I offer the result to God. I enjoy the process. That's where we saw how God appreciates efforts, where a 65% marks was appreciated more than 92, and how the devotees didn't feel sad though the photo didn't come out well because they enjoyed the entire process. But even after doing this, after we graduate from Kartavya Yoga Muchyate to Yoga Karma Kaushalam to Yoga Karma Falatyaga, there is still the possibility of me having to come to enjoy the good fruits. And for that, I will have to do Pavitra Karma. Pavitra Karma, where the I is removed. Unless that I is removed, there is no way I can save myself from getting karma, because when the I is removed, the karma doesn't know where to come to. So this is the brief summary of today's satsang. And the clock in my laptop shows 7 p.m. I think the quick summary was a nice way to conclude it. I would like to extend my heartiest Sairam and gratitude to all of you for so lovingly supporting me, joining me on this, and becoming fellow pilgrims on this lovely path to Bhagwan. I pray to Swami that the love that we have for him in our heart keeps growing stronger every passing moment, and pray to him for more opportunities of study circle like this. Let us do this. As of now, I'm thinking once in 3 weeks, maybe once a fortnight, but definitely once a month. It'll be on a Sunday only to make it easy for everyone to remember and log in. Sunday, 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So, mostly in 3 weeks from now, let's join in again for another study circle like this. Once again, thanks to everyone. Jai Sai Ram. I will be going through the comments. I will note down the questions and we will try to discuss as many as possible. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you for everything. Brother or sister, innovation, you have said you have got cancer. Don't worry, even cancer cancelled is possible. Hold on to Swami. Never give up joy in your heart. Never give up the peace and faith in your heart. Keep holding on. Let us love Swami more and more and more and enjoy and get the reward of peace and contentment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.